and it's been a little while since I made a video, but I'm out here today, my VPA ILF Vapor riser, 15-inch riser, and I'm shooting some LOA Supercurve limbs. These are long Supercurve limbs. They're a 49 at 29 on a 17-inch riser. So at my draw, they're going to be at 28 inch, probably going to be closer to a 47 pound, and then on a 15-inch riser will probably be close to 48, 49 pounds still. So at my drawing, we're going to see what this does through the chronograph first, get some shots with it, and see how we like it. Alright guys, to start the video off, we're going to be shooting the Gold Tip Hunter 400. This is a 450 grain arrow, 150 grain point to make it 450 total. And we'll see how it starts the video, shoots on this video. So we got a 202 with that arrow. 202 guys, that's pretty quick. I'm about to go get the 125 point and see what it does. That's what I've been shooting most of my bows with. I got a 212 with a 125, a 425 grain arrow with my whistle bow. So this one's shooting 202. That's pretty quick. Here's the same arrow. 203. So with that being said, we're gonna shoot the 470 grain Deep Impact 500, which this bow also may pick up speed with the quiver off of it. A little short, but a 195 with a 470 grain arrow. And we got an arrow on that one. Let's shoot that one again. All right, so I think we got some pretty respectable numbers out of that. The limbs are fast. Make sure I drop my field point. The limbs are fast overall. Let's start out this video with the lightest arrow again. I swapped to the 125 point, so this is a 425 grain arrow. .206, pretty quick for a 49 pound bow. 206. Let's shoot the 450 now. .202. Shoot the 500. This is a 470 grain arrow, which is probably what I'll stick to hunting with, a little longer. 193. And then we'll shoot the heaviest arrow, the 400, 506 grain arrow, 188. So 506 grain arrow, 188 feet per second, that is smoking off of this bow. I'm gonna get one more chronograph group and then we'll shoot a few shots. So we'll start out with the light arrow again. We got a 206 on the last. .208. That's fast, y'all. 208 feet per second. .200. So with the 470 grain arrow, .192. That arrow flew a little bit weird. I think it's too short. And we got with the, ooh, 189 with that one. I think I pulled the bow up, but 189 feet per second with a 506 grain arrow. That's smoking fast. All right guys, so I'm gonna try to figure out which arrow I like to shoot the best. This bow, for what it's doing, probably should be shooting a 400 spine arrow. I'm gonna shoot this deep impact. It's shooting 189 feet per second, so that's plenty quick to hunt with. And we're gonna see how it flies. We'll let that one off my face. I'm getting a little noise. Not sure where it's coming from, but we're gonna figure that out. I may have to adjust some things on this bow. Oh yeah, getting a little bit of a weak tail right, so we probably need to comb out a little bit on this side plate. I mean, it looks like it's a little bit of stiff shooting arrow, so let's go get those two and shoot them again. All right, let's shoot those two arrows again. We'll start out with the deep impact 400. I'm gonna try to shoot the 500 too, just to see if it flies better. Angle my camera up a little bit. Let's shoot the deep impact 400 first. Whew, that's fast. That arrow is getting down there quick, y'all. I like the way that flew. Getting a little noise. This quiver is loose at the bottom. It doesn't fit perfect, and I think it's causing a little bit of vibration, but I can get over that shooting these limbs. They're man, they're fun to shoot. All right, so I'm gonna move this knock point up here, but we're gonna shoot the 500 spine now just to see if it'll shoot off of here. Perfect shot, almost hit the can. It's a little short for this bow. It's kind of almost coming back and hitting the Velcro on my riser. So I may have to, I don't know, it flew pretty well. That was a little bit to the right there. I think I plucked the string. Gotta get used to shooting these limbs. Right there in the can, awesome shot. All right, so we're shooting this 450 grain arrow. It seems to be shooting the best. The gold tip, it always shoots well off of most of my bows, and right now it's the most accurate. Shoot the deep impact 500, 400 again. And then the 500. Ooh. That was a deep impact 400. Hit the can. Hit the can with the 500. Both of those shoot fine. All those arrows shoot fine out of this bow. I could just adjust that side plate for any left or right correction, and I'll be good to go. That's what's so cool about an ILF bow. You can adjust that side plate to accommodate for any kind of left or rights you may have. If your arrow's out of tune, you know, you need to tune the arrow for it, but you can get away with shooting an out of tune arrow on an ILF bow and make it be as accurate as you need it to hunt with. I appreciate y'all watching this one. This is my VPA Vaporizer. LOA Supercurve. These are LOA longs. They're a 62-inch limb on a 17-inch riser. So on a 15-inch riser, they're going to be a 60-inch limb. So 60-inch bow overall, great shooter. I like it. Let's shoot this deep impact. I mean this gold tip hunter again. I would shoot at the hog, but my boat tire's right there, and I don't feel like busting the tire. That thing is super fast. It's like super flat flying and just super fast out there. Ooh, a little bit to the right. I need to straighten that up. Ooh, awesome shot, man. It's a fun bow to shoot, y'all. Check out the ILF riser paired with some LOA Supercurve limbs. You can't beat it. These are the fastest limbs that I have. My Wessel only shoots 4 feet per second faster, and it's a 58-pound bow. Where this one's drawing like right at 50 pounds, and it's smoking them. My Timber Ghost, they're a fast bow, but they're about 8 feet per second slower than this limb here, and I'm drawing about 47 pounds with my G3SS. So definitely I think these are a little bit quicker limb, and definitely look into them if you're looking for a smooth, fast Supercurve limb. I've had a couple other. I've had some Morrisons. I haven't had any Borders. I haven't had any Border Supercurve, but I haven't heard the best things about the Border Supercurve versus anything else. So I've had LOA before in a 40, and they were quick and smooth. These are a 50 pound at 29. So mine, that's on a 17-inch riser. So at my draw length, these are about 50 pound on this 15, and they're performing how I expected. They're really fast, really smooth, and a really comfortable limb to shoot. We're just going to shoot this really light, this 425 grain Hunter 400. Accurate as all of them. It's the fastest arrow that I have, and they're all grouped in the can. All right, so I wanted to do 2 last shots. We're gonna shoot the 2 gold tips. Well, let's shoot the gold. Let's shoot the 3 gold tips, and then the Hunter 400. I mean the Deep Impact 400. And I want to see what kind of penetration I'm getting on that target from here. So this is the 450 grain gold tip. That was a 450. 425 here. Much faster arrow. And let's shoot the both deep impacts. We'll shoot the 400 first, and then the 500. And see which one gets the best penetration on the target. That one had a little tail high down there. See that? All right, let's go check those out. All right, so this is a spot on my target that I don't shoot a lot. It's kind of soft, but we're gonna see which arrow had the best penetration. So this is the 425 grain arrow. That's not bad at all. The 450, it wasn't much difference there on this arrow. So if I can get away with shooting a 425, I'm gonna go that route. This was the Deep Impact 400. Not bad, it's about the same. Deep Impact 500, about the same. They're not, the penetration difference wasn't enough to really matter to me. I think if I could get away with that faster 425 with the sharp broadhead, I'd be good to go with this bow. All right, so let's get a few long distance shots here. Longer distance, this is only 25 yards, but we'll start out with the 425 grain arrow, the light arrow. see how this bow shoots out to 25 yards. Accurate as hit. Hit the can. That was a really flat flying arrow compared to anything else I had. That one dropped off a hair, was still in the middle, right by the can. So 500, this is a 470 grain arrow now. Really flat flying arrow. Picked up, and the Supercurve limb, it'll pick them up and just flatten that arrow out. That one dropped off a hair. So, as far as speed, as far as flat distance and penetration, that 425 is where it's at. That deep impact 470 grain would be my other choice. I think it's kicking up, getting a little kick up off the riser though. I want to shoot both of those arrows one more time, and appreciate y'all watching. All right, let's shoot both of the 500. Well, both the lighter arrow and the 500 deep impact. So this is a 470 grain arrow here, and it's flying pretty well. That one dropped off a little bit. Let's shoot the 425 now. Gold tip Hunter 400. So out of all the arrows, that one is definitely the flattest flying, and it is right in the middle every time I shoot. So out of the group, that with a sharp broadhead, that 425 would probably be my go-to. But an overall hunting arrow, I'd like to stick with my deep impacts. They have a good bit of mass weight up front, and the collar plus the broadhead will probably cause a lot of damage. All the arrows are accurate. That 500 and that 400 seem to be leaving this bow the best. I may have to adjust a few things, but I'm not, overall, I'm liking how those are shooting. Badass bow setup right here.